Hello and welcome to Louise Singleton Creations. Today I have a very special delivery to show you. I have been sent the LOKLiK Auto Tumbler heat press. And just to be completely transparent, I didn't purchase this. I was sent this for free. Well, not for free, in exchange for making this video. But I promise to be completely honest, as I always am, and I will be telling you the positives and the negatives right at the end. So stay tuned for that. Today I'm going to be using this heat press with heat transfer vinyl on ceramic mugs. So if you would like to find out more about this machine and see how all my cups turned out, stay tuned and enjoy the video. Here is what came with the LOKLiK Auto Tumbler heat press. It's the heat resistant gloves and the heat resistant tape. So here we have it, the LOKLiK tumbler press or cup press, all unboxed and ready for action. But before we get started, let me just show you the different buttons. So the obvious one here is the power button. We have the temperature button. It's all very obvious because they've got very clear pictures on. So with the temperature button, if you press it for 2 seconds, you can change from F to C there, and then 2 seconds to go back again, because I want it on F, just because that's what I've been practicing with and that's what I'm used to. So once you're on the once you've clicked the temperature button, the numbers flash there, look, and then you can go up or down with the plus and minus buttons. So that's very, very simple. And the same with the time button, just click it, the seconds will flash and you can go up or down. And once you've finished setting up everything the way you want it, all you have to do is press the go button. Very, very simple. And a brilliant safety feature is once you've set it up, if you don't do anything for a while, I think it's about 5 minutes, maybe 10, I'm not sure, but it does turn itself off. So that's a really good safety feature. Right then, are we ready for the first project? Let's see how it goes. For my first cup, I am keeping it nice and simple. I found this nice dash hunt picture on the Cricut Design Space. And here's a screenshot of it on my app, ready to be sent to cut. All the vinyls I will be using today are HTV, which means heat transfer vinyl, and they're from HTV Ron, all of them today. And the cut setting that I use is the everyday iron-on setting. And when you're using HTV, if it's something that isn't symmetrical, you need to make sure you mirror it on the design space before you start to cut. And there it is, busy cutting away, but I'm not going to show you all of that. So when my Cricut Maker had finished cutting, I just needed to peel off all the bits that I didn't want, which is called weeding if you're new to this. So heat transfer vinyl is quite different to adhesive vinyl. It already has the carrier sheet there, so you don't need to use transfer film. Once you've peeled off your excess vinyl, it's already nice and sticky and you just need to stick it on your cup. However, I did keep it in place a little bit with some of the heat resistant tape that came with the machine. I have my cup, it's all ready to go in. So I'm going to put my gloves on. You must put your gloves on. Okay, and then we're ready to slide it in. Right up to the middle. I like to put the handle that way because when it closes, it pushes the handle that way. Let's go. And now it's just a case of waiting for 60 seconds and I will come back to you in a moment. I already did a lot of experimenting before I started filming to find just the right temperature and time, and I'm kind of sticking with 365 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 seconds for most of the projects today. There we go, and it automatically opens itself up when it's finished, and all I have to do is slide it out. And that's how simple it is. Now this is a cool peel HTV, so I need to leave that to be completely cool, and it's very hot at the moment. So I'll leave that and we'll come back to that when it's cooled. Now then, the other thing that you can do with this cup press is tapered cups. These were the first cups that I got, and they were a little bit of a mistake. If we look with the ruler against it, do you see it's not a straight taper, it's curved. So if you're going to do a tapered cup, it needs to be a straight side. It can taper downwards, but it needs to be a straight size. And I can't think of the maximum and minimum sizes, but I'll put them on the screen so you can probably see them right now. So yeah, it does, obviously it has a maximum and a minimum size. This is very snug when it goes in, which is not ideal, but I'm going to put it in just to show you how. There we go, it's very snug. But if you could watch this as it comes out, you'll see how it fits to the shape of the cup. So do you see the angle that it's at? So that's, it will fit to a tapered cup as long as the sides are straight. And just click that to cancel it, because I'm not actually doing anything with that cup. So yeah, that cup isn't ideal, and it wouldn't press very well because of that curve. So I did buy some more cups when I realised my mistake. The other thing I would say is this one fits just about perfectly, but I wouldn't want it any bigger, because if you're doing multiple layers and you're taking it in and out, changing your colours, and it's very snug, you're what I've found is you get movement, they stretch and wrinkle up and all sorts, and you don't want that. So you will need to make sure your cups fit this easily without it having to be really pushed in like that one was. Okay, it's time to take the carrier sheet off. I've already started it because I wanted to see before I started filming if it was stuck. And there we go. There we have it. All done. I really like that. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few more mugs and tell you a little bit more detail about what I'm doing and temperatures and all the different things. So, yeah, that's the main idea, and that was a very simple one. Maybe let's try some glitter HTV next. In my set of cups, one of them was bright orange, and I'm not an orange person, not really. So I thought maybe it would make a good Halloween cup. So on the Cricut Design Space, I found this really cool picture of some Halloween houses, and that's the one I went for and made sure it was the right size to fit my cup. And here it is, cutting out my glitter HTV from HTV Ront. And because I didn't show you any of the weeding on the first one, I'm showing you it on this one instead. I've had to speed it up because there was a lot to do with all those little windows. And while I'm doing that, it gives me the perfect opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the LOKLiK automatic tumbler press. So as you know, today I'm using ceramic cups, but it's also perfect for stainless steel and glass. I think HTV on mugs is supposed to last about 50 washes before it starts to come off, which is not bad, but I'm a practical person and yeah, I like things to last forever. Right, let's get back to the cup. Just like with the first one, I attached it to the cup and I used some of the heat resistant tape to make sure it was nice and secure. I found that the glitter HTV does need quite a high temperature, so I've put it a little bit higher to 370. In actual fact, I forgot to turn it back down to 365, which is what I was using before, and for the cups that came after that, it stayed at 370 and they were fine anyway. So 370 would probably be the best one to stick with. I found that if I go any hotter or if I leave it in any longer, it starts to wrinkle the carrier sheet, which causes different problems. So yeah, you will need to experiment with your timings and your temperatures, that's for definite. Also, it's not just for using with heat transfer vinyl like I am today. It's probably most popular for its uses with sublimation and infusible ink, but I don't have any of that. So yeah, I'm using HTV. The great thing about heat transfer vinyl is it will stick to any cup. But if you're doing sublimation, you do need a special coated cup for that. So yeah, that does restrict you a bit, but I do think that this automatic heat press is better suited for sublimation, if I'm honest. Because using this on cups isn't permanent, also you can't put it in the dishwasher, I would say I would prefer to use this on tumblers that I would be putting on my cup turner and covering with resin, and that would make it permanent, and it will be very useful for me in the future for that. But I'm not sure how often I will be making cups using heat transfer vinyl, if I'm completely honest. Different brands of HTV will react in different ways, and even the same brand, I've got a pack of HTV vinyl from HTV Ron, and it's just all different colours in there, but some of them have got clear glue on the back and some of the sheets have white glue on the back. And I did find that with one of the colours, I think it was brown, if I used it at the temperature that I'd been using everything else at, I got a white line around the edge because all the glue came out and it went white. And so yeah, even all from the same pack, they're not all the same. Different colours seem to do different things. So that's why I'm saying it's about trial and error. So one thing I did forget to mention is that this has a memory. So when you turn it off and then you turn it back on again, it will be still at the temperature you set it to the last time you used it, which is brilliant if you've got a memory like mine and you can't remember the temperatures you've used. So this is a cool peel HTV. However, I have found that the carrier sheet peels off if it's still slightly warm rather than letting it get completely cold. I find the carrier sheet is a little bit more flexible that way and it just comes off better. Do take it slowly though, because I don't know if you could tell, but the carrier sheet tore there. So I started peeling from the other end and yeah, then it was fine. So I made several cups, but out of all of them, I think this one was my favourite. I love the glitter HTV and I love the design. And even though I don't love orange, this cup looks so good, especially for Halloween. Although there are lots of ready-made designs available on the internet and even in the Cricut design space, you can use your imagination in the Cricut design space and make your own designs. So this time I made a design for my channel, Louise Singleton Creations. I thought it would be nice to have a nice personalised cup, so that's what I'm doing for this one. I also made one for my granddaughter, which was one that I made in the Cricut design space rather than doing a ready-made design, and you'll see that at the end, but I'm not showing you the making of that because I lost the footage. But never mind, I think I've shown you enough for you to get the idea of how easy the LOKLiK automatic tumbler press is to use. So now I think it's time to tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Because as I said at the beginning, I'm going to be completely honest. So let's start with the positives because there are certainly more positives than negatives. I love that it's really robust, it feels strong, yet it's lightweight and portable. It's got a clean and stylish design. It's very easy to use. It's got auto pressure adjustment, so there's no pressure tests involved. It just works it all out for you. It's super quick to heat up, and it's got an ABS shell for high temperature resistance, so if you touch the outside, you won't burn your fingers. Right then, what would I say is negative? Not much. There's only one thing about the machine that I would change because I loved almost everything. And the one thing I would change is I would like it to take slightly larger cups. Because the cup I had, I would say was average. But, it only just fit in there, and I would like things to fit in really comfortably, especially if you're changing colours a lot and going in and out with the same cup. Yeah, I think it would be better to have a little bit more space. Not even that much, maybe 5 millimeters bigger would make so much difference. So yeah, that's the only thing I would change about the machine. The main thing that I think needs improvement is actually the instruction manual. There was a lot of detail in there about the specifications, the safety, the different buttons, all of that, and it even gave you basic instructions on how to use it. But I would really like it to go into a little bit more detail. For instance, I didn't know that it would do a tapered cup until I found out for myself. That wasn't in the instructions. There was nothing in there to explain the best place to put the cup. I know there's a picture on the machine showing a cup in the middle, but a little bit more information about that would be useful. Also, something I didn't try, but I think you can do, is do 2 cups at the same time. I didn't actually try that, but like I say, I think you can, but if they said it in the instructions, that would be so helpful. So yeah, just a bit more thought and detail into the instructions, and I would give the product 10 out of 10. So now let's have a look at the finished cups, because there's one that you still haven't seen. So from receiving the machine, I've had quite a journey with it because I got the wrong cups in the first place, those slightly curved ones that I showed you. And I was struggling with those before I got these cups. And so, yeah, that wasted a little bit of my time. And then I had to find the correct heat and timings. But once I got all of that right, the right cups and the right timings, these were quick and easy to do. And it was a pleasure to do it as well. And do you like this one? That was the one for my granddaughter. I was really happy with that one. And then, of course, there's my own personalised one as well. So anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with the machine and with the results. As I mentioned before, I think it would be better if the HTV was completely permanent on these cups, and it's a shame that it will only last about 50 washes. But I will definitely be using the machine for tumblers, especially if I'm going to be coating them with resin, because yeah, then it's perfect. So in conclusion, I would say that I highly recommend the HTV RON/LOKLiK automatic tumbler press. And I would give it a score of 8 or possibly 9 out of 10. I would just like the space for the cup to be a bit bigger. But yeah, 8 or 9 out of 10, pretty good. No other faults that I can think of other than that manual. Please change the manual. Please check out my video description for the links, and I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.